I'm Caitlin, a librarian at the Owings Mills branch of Baltimore County Public Library, and this is Tabletop Gaming with BCPL. Sometimes the most difficult part about getting a board game group together is just picking the right game. That's why we have a list of 5 go-to games for a great board game night. First up is Wingspan. Wingspan is honestly one of my favorite games to play with my board game group. It's an engine building game, like Splendor or Terraforming Mars, but all about birds. Players are bird enthusiasts working to get the best birds in their habitats. Each bird adds to a string of actions based on the habitat they're in, leading to some pretty amazing action combos. You can gain food, lay eggs, and draw more bird cards to add to your board. Each game, there are different round goals and player bonuses, meaning a strategy you use one game to win may not work the next game. The best part of Wingspan is the birds. There are over 170 different birds that are all beautifully illustrated. The art definitely takes it to a whole new level and makes Wingspan a standout game. Betrayal at House on the Hill has been around for nearly 20 years and is still beloved by the board game community. Betrayal at House on the Hill, commonly referred to as Betrayal, is a horror-themed game that starts cooperatively but turns competitive. Betrayal starts off in what is called the exploration phase. This part is like a cooperative tile game, where players work together to explore an old mansion, building it one tile at a time. Eventually, we move into the haunt phase. The haunt phase will start based on the player's discoveries and dice rolls, so it can be different each time. This is when the game really takes a turn. The haunt phase sets one player up as the traitor and it becomes competitive. The traitor versus every other player. Each haunt phase is different. There are 50 different haunts that will be affected by the player's locations and what rooms they have or haven't unlocked. I've played this game time after time and haven't had the same game experience even once. The replayability of this game is insane. Betrayal is a must-try for every board game fan. Dixit is a great laid-back option for game night. It's a card game all about art interpretation. In Dixit, each player has a hand of artwork cards. One player is the storyteller, who chooses one of their cards and creates a sentence inspired by the artwork. The other players must then choose a card in their hand that could work with the storyteller's sentence. The goal is to trick your opponents into picking your card while you manage to secretly figure out the storyteller's card. The tricky part is coming up with the perfect sentence for your card. If your sentence is too vague or obscure, no one will pick the correct card, and you don't get any points. But if it's too on the nose and everyone picks it, you also don't get any points. Dixit can be a really fun and silly game of coming up with outrageous stories and trying to think just like your friends. If you haven't tried Dixit yet, you need to add it to the roster for your next board game night. Another great game night option is Seven Wonders, a card development game about the 7 wonders of the world. In this game, each player plays as an ancient city that is home to one of the 7 wonders of the ancient world. They must work to develop their city and build their wonder through 3 different ages to earn victory points and win. Each wonder can provide different benefits to the players. If you play as Giza, you get victory points for every level of your wonder that you build. As Alexandria, you get access to resources for the first 2 levels and then extra victory points for completing the wonder. Players can build up their cities by adding military bases, embracing scientific discoveries, or investing in commerce. Each age adds new buildings and technologies based off of the cards from other rounds, making it easier to continue down a path of war through the military or discovery through science cards. The more people you play with, the more you unlock, and the more difficult it becomes. 7 Wonders is a great option for those larger board game nights. Of course, we can't forget about the classics like Clue. This murder mystery game has been around for quite some time and even has a movie based on it. A great bonus for Clue is how many variations there are. You can try a different copy of Clue or change some of the rules to keep things fresh. There have been a ton of redesigns of the game. Some editions of the original change the rooms, weapons, or characters. There are also complete redesigns based on popular media, including some for Dungeons & Dragons, Game of Thrones, and more. Don't count out those older games. Classics are classics for a reason, and Clue is a great option for any game night. Do you want to know the best part of all of these games? They're available for free at your local branch of Baltimore County Public Library. So start planning your next game night and try a new game. You might just find your next favorite.